now we've been stuck doing one parters, and Terry suggested that we do a ninja campaign because he has the book and everything, and I didn't really get a chance to read the book fully, but I said, man, dude, if you want to, because there's only going to be four of us, if you want to go ahead and roll up a character, I mean, you've seen me do it. And he's like, you know what, yeah, I'll give it a try. And so we're all going to be ninjas in this one-shotter campaign. And he kind of fouled up. It was 3 hours of a campaign that we took, a couple days to prep, you know. Oh, sorry, not campaign, the one-shotter, right? I mean, we were planning to lead it into a campaign because I told him, look, I don't know how complicated the ninja thing is going to be, but if you think that we can make it more than a couple of sessions, let's do that because, I told him, look, at this point, I am really tired of just doing one-shots. I don't want to make this a one-shot unless we can help it. So if you think you can do an actual campaign with ninjas, go ahead, go for it, because I understand we're starting this as a one-shot, but if we could take it further, I would prefer that. He's like, yeah, man, that's not a problem at all. It was a problem. Terry didn't have a problem giving anything away as far as storyline goes. He was really good about differing his character from him being a DM. Where he went wrong is he had us all pick like specialty weapons towards our classes, and he gave us an amount of money and ninja weapons to pick from and everything, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. And we all had our own names and stuff. I went with Kirby's son after Pierre Kirby. If you've ever seen a Godfrey Ho movie, Pierre Kirby and Richard Harrison are the two main white actors. And if you don't know who Godfrey Ho is somebody who's legendary for taking film that's not originally his and splicing it in with other movie reels to make money. So you end up with two different movies. One that's clearly older, and then another one in which he's spliced his own movie into. And it always has to do with ninjas behind the scene, right? So you get these clearly American actors from a different decade intermingling with, other more foreign, mostly, old school 70s Japanese movie actors that, they're not even in the same time period. And he tries to cut it in like they're acting with one another when clearly they've never met each other in their life and they're clearly not in the same room or whatever. And he'll have like a couple of scenes of that, and then the rest is just two movies that are going on side by side with one another. You'll have like 40 minutes of the 70s movie that has nothing to do with what's really going on with the movie he spliced into it, and then you'll have maybe 10-15 minutes of his spliced movie with dudes in like ridiculous ninja costumes, like pink and yellow ninja costumes, and they'll have like bands above their head that say ninja on them. And they'll do a bunch of ridiculous shit like teleportation and all kinds of stupid shit. They'll have ridiculous weapons and they'll flip like 8 times in the air. And they'll they'll have like dubbed over voices and stuff so that they can pretend like they're still in the same movie, and they're still trying to follow the same plot. They're just like the ninja behind the scenes, but really, I mean, come on. So, anyways, I decided to make my character's name Kirby-san, and I had this kick-ass bow staff that I went with because I like the bow staff and everything, and I had a katana, and we all bought smoke bombs, and we all bought like kunai, and we all had these like really outlandish kind of characters. We really got into it. My dude was all scarred up and stuff, right? And he had enemies that he had to go and face. He was doing it for the sake of revenge. And she made a cat folk creature, ninja, who had a ring of illusion. That was her specialty item, and she had a glaive and of course, a bunch of kunai, and she went with the two. They're like smaller katana. The smaller. I'm not pronouncing it right. Worth a damn. But it's like they're like the smaller on your secondary backup um, weapons that are also kind of formed like little mini katanas. I don't know what they're fucking called. I don't live in Japan, and I don't really give a fuck to pronounce it right. You know, they're generally the blades you commit harakiri with. But yeah, I don't know the proper pronunciation for the smaller ones. Normally, if you buy like a rack of three, you'll have the actual katana and then the middle one and then the really small one. She had like dual really small ones, and he just counted those. He's like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, you can have them, and we'll just count them as like regular knife damage. And she was cool with that, and I was like, whatever. We had an odd grouping of people. Um, Duncan, he likes dwarves, so he went with a dwarf whose specialty item, because we all got specialty items, to really distinguish our characters. And his specialty item was it was kind of like, there's a really rare like armor where you can like form it out of leaves and stuff from around you, and it was that pretty much, but it was it kind of covered him and his face and stuff like that, and he decided to go with that pretty much. But yeah, it's an armor that you form with like mystical leaves, and you can disperse it and you know, um, form it. I don't know for the life of me what it was called. It was a little altered to work for more of a ninja. It didn't have like everything that the armor did. I think it was mostly like, honestly, I think it was mostly just the same as what was it? I think it, because it didn't give him the full bonus that the actual armor did. Because I mean, that's a really rare item to get, and it's hell of expensive, and there's no way he could have afforded it. So I think it was only like it only really gave him like a +1 or something to the armor he already had on, which was leather. And it was really mostly just for concealing himself when he went to assassinate somebody. So he would conceal himself in like leaves. So it was he had a dwarven ninja whose ninja outfit consisted of leaves. Um, and he called him. He had like a name for him. Oh my god. Um, is a really strange name, but he also had a nickname for him called, and he called him Snapping Turtle. So we all just called him Snapping Turtle because not only did he have like the green leaf outfit, right, but he went with dual comma, and comma are pretty much mini scythes. So he dual wielded comma, and he was really good at close range combat. He wasn't so good at like throwing kunai and stuff like that, but he was really good at getting in your face and slashing you up with dual comma. It's weird that I know what comma are and size are and certain other Japanese weapon, but I cannot for the life of me fucking tell you what the little miniature one is. So I don't know, maybe I'll look it up a bit later. But yeah, so he had dual comma, and so he decided he's gonna give his character the name the ninja nickname of Snapping Turtle. And you know what? It kind of fits, so we all never really even called him by what his dwarven character's actual name was, because his character's actual name was something really ridiculous. Um, what did he? But yeah, it was like long-winded and ridiculous name, and it didn't match a dwarf at all. You know, it was like a dwarf with a Japanese name. And another thing that was funny about his dwarf was he had black hair tied back in a long ponytail, right? And but he also had a mustache and a goatee, but the goatee was like the way he described it. It was long. It was like thin hair and like long ways down. You know, like something you would see from somebody from a Shaw Brothers movie. You know, it was a really thin, narrow, like straight down, long goatee. You know, and he could just like and he had black hair, but just like the dude from the master from Kill Bill, if when she goes to train with the master, the dude. It was like that. It was a long goatee like that, and he could even flip it like the master from Kill Bill. He could even flip his goatee around to his shoulders and shit. So ridiculous as shit. But we all just called him Snapping Turtle, and you know what? Very memorable character. Other than his actual name. I don't, you know, I think all of us are just gonna remember him as Snapping Turtle. But for the life of me, I can't I can't even recall his actual name, the actual name he gave him.